Okay, so again, my name is Rachel Richards. I have been transformed by this incredible program. I came in not so much for a big weight loss story. However, I have most certainly lost 15 pounds that I had tried to lose every January. So I was a girl that tried to outrun my fork. I didn't have a healthy relationship with food. I had some really wonky habits and mindsets that did not serve me. And this program over the last 6 years has absolutely changed my life. I have circles of friends that are like-minded. I've been able to coach others, and coaches are just accountable clients. And it has truly given me a bigger life. And I've been able to help so many people, and that gives me an incredible sense of fulfillment. And I meet you in that space tonight, wanting to help you and forward you to get the most out of your program. So let's be sure that we have that Optavia guide. I am going to share my screen and get into the PowerPoint. My co-host is going to let everyone in the room, as I won't have an opportunity to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now, and we'll get started. All right, and there will be a really nice Q&A at the end of this. So please go ahead, put some of your questions in the chat. My co-host will help me get them. We will answer them at the end, or just jot them down on a piece of paper, because chances are the PowerPoint is going to cover most of them, but if it doesn't, we will hold those for the Q&A section at the end. So the very first thing I want to start out with is Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson. You see his face here on the screen. You can trust this program. Dr. A was the 10th board certified surgeon in the United States, and he left medicine because he felt like it was turning into sick care, and he wanted to shape a program like Optavia where people could become the dominant force in their health. So we're not for everybody, right? We're for people that are looking for that lifestyle change, that one healthy habit at a time, and really to learn how to do that. And Dr. A is very passionate about that mission. The cool thing is we don't have to research this program, because there's 20 years of science that has absolutely gone into our program. So you can rest assured that there's good research, dietitians, nutritionists, physicians that have done their homework and made it so easy for you to get healthy. So there's over 20,000 medical professionals that back this program, and we're growing that number all the time. So moving forward, I want to tell you about the components of your plan. I love to tell my clients that 75% of your program is non-food. It's non-food. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the services and what's embedded so that you can succeed. First of all, you get a coach. You know, I had never had a coach before, and having a coach to walk with you and guide you and grow you and get you more results, right? Quicker results, more sustainable results, looking out for your blind spots. Their job is to help you win. They're just a client, just like you, that has been where you're at. And so how refreshing is it to have someone and not have to go at it alone? So you have a coach, you have a community, you have access to a like-minded community of people that are eating like you, drinking water like you, learning to move their body like you, learning to think well in order to eat well. And so this community is there for your support, because we know that sometimes the communities that you come from or that you're a part of, maybe they're not like-minded in their health right now, and that's okay, but that's great for you to have one that is, right, when you're making these decisions. So you'll see this in Facebook, private client support pages, the Win the Day calls, which we'll talk about soon, and many other aspects. The Optavia community is second to none. I've been a part of wellness for a long time, and I will tell you that this community is second to none. So I hope you take full advantage of that. The Habits of Health system, right? So we get these books, and these books are the health class that we never got. They're going to help us with the mindsets that we've not addressed, and the skill sets, some of the concepts, and more importantly, a lot of the science, so that you can understand, how is my body transforming like this? And why is it happening so quickly? And you'll really want to know how to maintain it and sustain it. And so the Habits of Health system, we spend 5 minutes a day in those. I call it the sixth fueling if you're on the 5-in-1. And it's a shot of fuel for your mind. So we want to use those 5 minutes a day. And then you may be on a various one of our nutrition plans. The common one is the 5-in-1. Some of you may not be on the 5-in-1. You're on a different plan. So your nutrition plan was designed to teach you portion control, help you to eat more frequently, reset that metabolism, and learn how to make healthy meals of your own, how to portion them out. You know, I had no clue how much chicken versus fish versus bison that I was supposed to have to fuel my body until I was able to be a part of this incredible plan. And so you're going to learn that, right? If food is medicine, we got to know how to portion out that medicine to heal our body. And then finally, our fifth component, this really sets us apart from any other program. We live out loud. Optavia is a mission. We are on mission to try and redeem this country's health. It's more than a product, it's a mission. And so as you live out loud, you're going to inspire other people, but you're also going to have incredible community that's behind you with that, and it's going to give you accountability. And chances are, put a 1 in the chat if you found out about this program because you saw somebody living out loud. You saw somebody sharing their incredible non-scale victories or their victories in that space, and you, because they lived out loud, you were able to be here today. And so it is our fifth component. So hold up your hand: coach, community, nutrition plan, habits of health system, living out loud, no more dieting in the dark. All of this helps us to get a grip on our health. So all 5 fingers are going to give you that grip on your health, and we're not going to diet anymore. How refreshing is that? So let's talk about, okay, Rachel, so what's the typical day going to look like? Maybe many of you are starting tomorrow. Some of you might be on this call saying, I just wanted to refresh, and that's okay. But the first part of this is understanding what a typical day looks like. So we eat our first meal within an hour of waking up. We break our fast, we tell our body we're up, we're ready for nutrition, and we start with our fueling. Or if you're someone that likes a breakfast lean and green, you can do that too. I love the flexibility of our plan. Then from there, we eat every 2 to 3 hours. This is new for many of you. I was a breakfast skipper, plus I would skip meals all throughout the day, and so my body would just hold everything, right? We're learning how to eat 6 nutritious meals a day. We're providing, in many cases, 5 with our meal replacements, and you're doing the 1 if you're on the 5-in-1. Again, some of you may be on different plans, right? But moreover, we're all learning how to eat 6 times a day and get dense shots of nutrition. You're gonna need a cue. You're gonna need an alarm. Anytime you do a new behavior, you'll need a cue or an alarm, and then it will become routine, and then it will become normal to you. But at first, you'll want to set your timers so that you don't skip a fueling, okay? We'll also want to drink a minimum of 64 ounces of water. So for me, I realized that a straw works really well for me. I do better with that. Everybody's different. But I know when I've had about 4 of these in a day, I'm right on track, okay? So some people put little rubber bands around them and they push them down so they know this is number 3, that's number 2. They have water apps on our app. We have a little checker, right? And then attending one win the day call. Win the day, the win call stands for Wellness Integration Now. And so what we do is we want to lift your spirits every day. We want to set your focus every day. These are quick community meetups virtually through Zoom where you're going to get a little bit of information from your life book and a lot of encouragement. Some days you're just going to learn how to breathe and say an affirmation that will set you up for success. Reading our life book 5 minutes a day. Why do we do that, right? Well, the bad thoughts come in often, right? Or the faulty thinking comes in often. So if we're reading 5 minutes a day, we're ushering out those former ways of thinking as they're coming in. So every day you're giving yourself that 6 fueling. And then lastly, we want those 7 hours of sleep. Did you guys know that when you're sleeping, you're burning fat? So we most definitely want to protect our sleep and start to have a good twilight routine and a good morning routine. So the biggest question from here after a typical day is, can I have my coffee? So before we break down the lean and green, where are all my coffee lovers, right? That was my first question. You can have your coffee. We're not going to take it away from you, your tea. We do want you to limit your caffeine to about 300 milligrams a day or 3 cups. And we don't want to crowd your water. Okay, so sometimes we drink so many nice cups of coffee that the next thing we know, the water's dipping and now we're not in that good space for hydration. So just be mindful of that. That's this whole program is about becoming mindful and really starting to see what's getting in your way. So yes, you can keep that coffee and seltzer water, bubble water, all that is okay. We just want to drink some nice plain water. The more water we drink, the more fat we flush. Okay, so now I want you to turn to pages 18 and 19 of your little guidebook here. It looks like this, okay? And there's a QR code right there, and I scanned it earlier. It's awesome. It's going to bring up a resource for you. If you don't have that, that's fine. Don't worry. We've got this here. And really, it's so easy, you guys. I want you to think about, okay, I choose a protein, right? So we either have leanest protein, right, which is going to be some of those shellfish or ground turkey. And then we have leaner, and then we have lean. What's great about this program, you get to eat all types of protein. We're not going to eat tilapia and asparagus 6 times a day and get, taste fatigue. This is not a diet. This is a lifestyle change. So you can choose your healthy, lean proteins and then notate, do they get a fat or not, right? So the fattier the meat, obviously less fats that we add. The less fats that it has, the more fats we add, because fat allows that absorption, okay? So you're gonna see it broken into 3 categories. The biggest aha is make sure that you measure it after you cook it, because it shrinks and you don't want to short yourself an ounce or 2 of your protein. We want to protect those muscles. So you're also going to see, all right, well, okay, so Rachel, you're saying I pick my protein, I decide if it gets a healthy fat, and then I choose my vegetables. And our vegetables, we are breaking down low carbohydrate, medium carbohydrate, and high carbohydrate, so that you start to learn that all vegetables are healthy, but we want to protect that fat burn and have a good mix of them and a good range of them. You get less of them if they're high carbohydrate than you would if it was low carbohydrate. This will be a skill that will go well with you long after your induction phase. I did mention at the beginning of this call that I haven't gained my weight back in 6 years, and it's because these skills have gone well with me, and I'm excited for you. So I know this may seem like, wow, that's a little confusing. So let's take it a step further and break down a lean and green together, okay? So look at the screen. All right, I've got my chicken, 6 ounces. It's a breast of chicken. So you'll see it correlate here, 6 ounces. Now I need to see, does it get a healthy fat? In fact, it does. 1, it says right there. So I'm going to choose some olives, or maybe I'm going to go over here and use a light vinaigrette Greek dressing. Dressings are a really fun way to use your healthy fat. Just make sure that your QR codes that we go to next, that it is an approved condiment, and some dresses have hidden sugar, so just be careful with that. And you're gonna go to your vegetables, right? So your spring mix, a cup, then a half a cup of cucumber, a half a cup of tomatoes. So you'll see that you can mix your vegetables, but we do need a total of almost 3 cups depending on what you choose. We want you to have a lot of detoxifying vegetables that fill you up and take the snackies away in the evening, because you've had that nice complete lean and green. You also are allowed some additional condiments every day, up to 3 condiments. So if you're like, a little feta would go really nice with this, I think I'm going to use one of my approved condiments. You can do that. And what a lovely salad, a Greek salad. You'll see taco salads, all kinds of things, but we go way beyond the salads. So you're going to want to check out Pinterest and your client support page, because we do not have you eating salads every day. We're going to teach you how to eat things that your family will love and that they will look forward to, so that you're not prepping 2 meals, okay? So now we're going to kind of go to the healthy snacks. So let's just say that you're having a day where you're getting into fat burn and you're just a little bit snacky or a little bit hungry. Maybe you've been on your feet a lot. You do have the option of some additional condiments and snacks. And so this is another QR code moment that you'll want to scan and see what's available to you. At Optavia, with your order, you can order some of our plan approved snacks. I love them. They're portion controlled. They're inexpensive, they're highly nutritious, and they take care of that little popcorn or puff or something like that. But there is a complete list of other condiments, and these are going to be things like spices and sugar-free ketchups and things that maybe complete the meal for you. What we want to do is make sure that you're sticking to that honest 3 right condiments a day allowance, and don't let it get up to like 8, which could compromise your fat burn, okay? So if you turn to page 30 in your guidebook with me, we'll go ahead and go to page 30. Look at how nice this is. This was my little guidebook. It's written in, and you can see me ticking off my waters and writing down my fuelings and all those good things. So we give you a journal. This will be a great resource for you and your coach when you do your check-ins. That way you can kind of talk about the food and how it's going for that first week, and make sure that we get into that nice fat burn. So on the right-hand side of your screen, you're also going to see that we have the Optavia app. And so we do have an app, and this is the journal, right? This is what that journal looks like. But how fun that we have an app. And you can really search this by poultry or beef. You're going to get recipes right at your fingertips. You're going to be able to log your water, change your order, add those snacks to your order. Everything is right there. So make sure that you know on an Android and an iOS device that you can utilize this. It's extremely helpful. So one thing that sets us completely apart from any other program is our education and empowerment. We are looking to make you the dominant force in your health, okay? So this is where the shifts start to happen. You're gonna say, I don't know what's happening, coach. I read in the life book and everything is starting to make sense. I'm starting to see what got in my way before. I'm starting to see where I wanna go. And as the results start coming in, you're not gonna want it to stop, and you're gonna wanna see the bigger picture. So I'm excited for you that these mindset shifts are gonna happen. A deeper dive into the science is gonna happen. And if you make a commitment to 5 minutes a day, that's great. Also tell your coach what type of learner you are. So if you're like, ooh, I learn by listening, we've got some really good audio support things as well. So we wanna help you learn the way that you learn and retain this information. All right, so we mentioned community. Guys, when I say community, I'll be honest with you, I had no idea how powerful this community was. Prior to this program, I was someone, I got it, I could do it myself. I'll just eat the food and read my books. And I stepped into this community and I was blown away. So the very first chance to get blown away is on the Win the Day call. You're gonna join those, they're in the morning or at night. Our goal is to make sure that you're hitting several of them in your first week. It's gonna lift your spirits and you're gonna see, I can do this. Other people have done it, they're winning, they're no different than me. I can do this. And you're gonna be very encouraged by what you hear. So again, there's several happening. You can see the time zones and the call number is always the same. You're gonna wanna set that alarm. You'll miss the call, it's normal. You're not used to getting on calls. So go ahead and make sure that you're added to your client support page. and that you make this a part of your habits. So let's talk a little bit about the things before you get started. You're going to want a picture. You're going to want a picture. You're going to want to capture this amazing progressive transformation. You're going to want to start with some inches and that weigh-in. Take really good pictures, because when you finish your induction phase, you're going to be blown away. And you're going to be sad if you're like, well, I didn't want to take a picture in the beginning. But when you see those side by sides, it's just going to encourage you so much. So make sure you take your picture and that you weigh in weekly. We don't want to overweigh. We want to take measurements. Remember, when you're in fat burn, that measurements and inches are just as good as pounds. So we want to make sure that you're keeping score in ways that serve you. Inches plus pounds, not just pounds. Plus, you're going to want to record. I would write every week my non-scale victory. Okay, so make sure that you are recording those non-scale victories, and that, sorry, let me just make sure everybody's muted. If my co-host could just help me make sure everyone is muted. Thank you so much. So make sure you get that. And then, sorry guys, I went a little bit ahead. The detox symptoms, they can happen your first week, okay? Exercise was the former slide, so we get a lot of questions. Can I exercise? We want you to take it easy your first week because of the detox. Your body has in its fat cells all your toxins, so it's purging all of that. You're also stepping away from addictive foods. Sugar is addictive. It does have a detox symptom. So we don't want to be exercising and trying to get into a fat burn and going through detox. Be gentle with yourself this week. Take a bubble bath. If you need to take some pain relief, if you get a little headache, you know, remember, you don't have to cut out your coffee. So don't give yourself a headache for no reason. You can have your coffee and your teas. So sometimes that headache can be from cutting out caffeine. But if you experience one and it has nothing to do with caffeine, try some Gatorade Zero, Powerade Zero, add some electrolytes with no sugar to your water. Take a little pain reliever and maybe some Metamucil or a Smooth Move tea. Your body's getting used to all that fiber and all that nutrition. So just be gentle. It's normal. Some of you will have very mild detox symptoms. Others maybe a little more severe if you ate a lot of sugar or processed foods. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure that you do that. Okay, so what happens if we don't follow the plan exactly? So remember, your portion control meal replacements are your fuelings. That's what came in your box. And most of you are on the 5 and 1, but some of you are not. We eat those every 2.5 to 3 hours, and then we eat our lean and green, right? So we want to follow that plan and not modify the results, because you're going to enter into a fat burning state. When you enter that fat burning state, and here's another QR code, I highly recommend this one. This is a Stop, Challenge, and Choose guidebook. I love this guidebook. It helped me to choose myself on days that I didn't feel like choosing myself. I felt like choosing something that would break my fat burn and would temporarily make me feel good, but then take me out of my success pattern that's predictable. So every time we, if you look at on the first slide here on the top, that fat burning state being interrupted is going to be what we call yo-yoing or 5 and 1-ishing. You're not going to get the benefits of the energy and the sleep and all of the progressive benefits. We're going to be stop, start, stop, start. So we don't want to interject foods that are off plan when we're trying to get into our fat burn. And if we feel like we might, we lean into the community, we lean into the coach, we read our Stop, Challenge, and Choose document. Remember that modifying the program will modify your results, okay? So exercise, we can exercise after about 3 weeks on the plan, but you're definitely going to want to talk to your coach, because remember, 80% of your success is what we're eating. Only 20% would be the gym. And we don't want to create hunger by working out too much and then having a hard time sticking with our program. The averages are down at the bottom. About 10 pounds a month for women, about 15 for men. You're going to average about 2 pounds of body fat a week when you look at your month. But you will have weeks that you don't lose pounds, but maybe you lose inches or your clothes fit better. Remember, focus on the habits, focus on the learning, and the weight will be a non-issue. You will not have to worry about the predictable results. So let's talk about more about the commitment, okay? So I've coached for 6 years. I'll tell you, these commitments are right on it. Like, this is it. If you were to say, Rachel, what makes someone successful versus someone that's not successful on this plan? I would honestly say it's right here on the screen. Number one, are you committed to not giving up on yourself? Committed to seeing your journey through? Committed to your why. Why did you do this? What did you want to create? What needs to stop? Who's affected, right? Getting that commitment. And then 2, are you committed to staying in contact with your coach, even when you might be tempted to lean out, right? Sometimes on our bad days, we're like, well, I don't want to bother my coach, or I don't want her to know that I'm struggling. That's when you lean in, okay? Lean in to lean out. And then even when you're having a day where you're like, I compromised my program, I chose against my goal, that's when you lean in. So it may be like, well, I don't want to tell her or him that I did this or that. Remember, they've been on program. They're a client. They understand better than anyone. So that's number 2. Number 3, are you committed to attending your support calls and going through your life book? The magic happens when we lose the 3.5 pounds between our ears. This is going to take a new way of thinking, a new way of writing and committing and reflecting and becoming conscious. So clients that do really well on this program, they do spend 5 minutes a day in their life book, and they attend at least 3 to 4 when the day calls. Okay. And then lastly, are you committed to no more dieting in the dark? Live this out loud. Share your results with people. No apologetic stance about the program. I remember saying to my friends and family, I'm going to change my habits. I won't be having that today. I broke up with sugar 2 weeks ago and I feel amazing. Don't be sticking tacos in my face. I'm really going for it. I can't wait to heal my body. And so I wasn't sad or apologetic. I was telling people that I was getting healthy so I can enlist their accountability. So right now, if you're like, those commitments make sense to me, I want to be successful, text your coach, I am committed. I am committed. That's the first step. And just showing up to this call is a big win for you. Okay. So congratulations for you for being on this call on a Sunday night and making this time to get your program right and to start on a really solid ground, okay? So a little bit more on that accountability. This is where we start the accountability clock. We close the escape that all diets have offered, right? And this would be your accountability post. I have my clients do this the night before they start. It goes really well with them. I'll be starting a new long-term health plan tomorrow. I'm very excited. Tag your coach so they can give you lots of kudos, lots of love for helping to guide me. And don't offer me any crumble cookies anytime soon. Funny, right? Tacos or whatever your kryptonite is. This is a way to let the world know I'm coming out, I'm healing my body, and they can come with you. Like right when I did this post, I had my mom and my sister-in-law, and I got to tell you, to have people coming with me was amazing. It definitely was more cement in my boots. And I was able to bring some people along in my healing. And that was contagious. That was inspiring. And every week I would update my social media with, I'm sleeping better. I'm thinking better. I don't have brain fog. My joints don't hurt. So living it out loud is going to be a key to your success, okay? So we're going to stop the share and I am going to answer any questions that you guys have about the plan. So let me stop the share and the recording. And let me go ahead and make sure. There we go.